No rescue, no deal. Hamas had nothing to do with this except to try to make it not happen. They failed. Among those rescued, you see on your screen, 26-year-old Noah Argamani. Now, Argamani was a real symbol of the October 7th attack. Do you remember the video of her being kidnapped? Here it is, going viral, screaming, "Don't kill me," her arms stretched out to her boyfriend also being kidnapped. Today, Israel released intense body cam footage of the rescue of the other three male hostages. And just to put this to bed once and for all about, oh no, they were released. You're trying to give Hamas a bad name. You don't have to give Hamas a bad name. It's a terror organization. Watch the video, please. What?
כנס, כנס. אחד איתי. עברית, הם פה כולם. הנה, פה. חבר'ה. שם. אנדרי. שלוש שונים בידי. שלוש שונים. הכל בסדר, אני מחלק אתכם כאילו רגועים. יש? יש.
They got 4, but what does it mean for the others? What does it mean for the Americans? Okay? Now, there's another controversy regarding the hostages also, or maybe it isn't. We're going to discuss it. The United States is supposedly, reportedly, considering a deal directly with Hamas terrorists to return the American hostages. Let's bring in John Spencer, the Urban Warfare Studies Chair at West Point's Modern War Institute, and Frank Lowenstein. He's a former U.S. Special Envoy for Israel, Israeli-Palestinian negotiations. It's good to have you both. First of all, hold me to it. Am I wrong? Was there something coordinated about this, that it was kind of a release, or is it obvious that it is what we saw, John? I'll start with you. This is a rescue. Hamas was not trying to help this happen.
Chris, I think you're 100% right, and it is clearly obvious that was a very risky hostage rescue operation. The thing that I think is obvious is when all these other news agencies use the words they know that matter. They use the word freed or released. That is absolutely done on purpose. So you are 100% right. Use the right words. These people were freed, not free, they were rescued by Israel in this very dangerous hostage rescue operation, very historic. And what you see on that video is, again, contrary to, I'm sure what we'll discuss, is the counter narrative at what cost, very, very destructive. You saw some very elite soldiers enter a very targeted location where they knew the hostages were being held by Hamas and by civilians.
Frank, what am I missing here from a messaging perspective? Why would anybody call this a release?
I really have absolutely no idea. It was obviously a hostage rescue mission. The Israelis are really good at this, going back to Entebbe, so they deserve full credit for it. I think the real issue is that a model that you can use to get the other Haiti hostages out? Right? Obviously, this is a very complicated mission. A lot of civilians were killed, and the hostages were at great risk. So is this something that's sustainable for Israel going forward or not? I think that's really the question.
Yeah, but it's not sustainable. They're supposed to give them back. You know, there's this whole charade going on that may make more sense to you, Frank, because you've been involved with these kinds of situations before. Now we hear the United States may be doing a unilateral deal with Hamas. What happened to not negotiating with terrorists? I guess that went out, you know, with the Taliban and al-Qaeda and everybody else we negotiated with. But supposedly the latest reporting is that Israel is okay with the United States cutting a side deal with Hamas. Do you believe that? And do you believe that's the right move for the U.S.?
Well, I think we need to do everything we possibly can to get our folks out of there. The real question in my mind is, what are we actually going to offer Hamas in return? You know, they want prisoners that are in Israeli jails right now. I don't know if we really have anything we can give them in return for our hostages. But whatever we can offer them, we should absolutely do it, because we need to get those folks home.
John, what is the risk of offering Hamas anything?
Right. That's the true question, is what could we possibly off your Hamas that wouldn't be counterproductive to the rest of the hostages coming home or Israel's mission. We believe there's a shared ground between negotiating sides, that both sides want to see innocent people no longer harmed in the continuation of the war, when that, in fact, is the exact opposite of what Hamas says. They actually want more innocent people hurt. So how do you negotiate with somebody who doesn't have that shared understanding, where the only thing you can offer them is continued survival, and then means more prisoners, more support? I couldn't see. I agree, all means need to be tried, but anything Hamas could be given that wouldn't be counterproductive to the rest of the hostages coming home.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.